Hi, this is Anita from 5 Minutes with Art. Today I want to talk a little bit about how art can make you happier, the science behind creativity. We believe at Anita Louise Art that art should make you happy. So we love art that sort of makes you happy, makes you smile. But there is a science of art and happiness. First of all, when you're engaging with art, whether through painting, sculpture, music, or dance, it can stimulate the brain in ways that promote happiness. Neuroscientists have found that artistic experiences activate the brain's reward center. It's such art can basically release these happy dopamines and these chemicals in your brain, and it can give you pleasure and just make you feel happier. Not only dopamine, but also serotonin. So all these great sort of like chemicals that release in your brain, the same thing when you exercise, art kind of does the same thing. It's known to make you happier. It's also a form of sort of like mindfulness. And I don't know, a lot of times when I paint or I'm doing art or I'm really engaged in art, you just sort of lose yourself. And if any of you, have also been the same way where you just sort of like lose yourself in the art, that's what it is. It's kind of a state of awareness or presence in the moment. Engage in artistic activities, you focus on the practice. That's why sometimes when you're creating things, you might be, oh my goodness, it's been 5 hours I've been here doing this. Because, it requires focus, and so you sort of lose track of time, and it becomes a form of thought and relaxations. That, art therapy has been known to actually be able to reduce anxiety and stress levels, making it an effective tool for those that deal with mental health issues. Art can also be expressive and help with emotional healing. Psychologists have long recognized that creative activities can be a powerful outlet for processing emotions. That's why sometimes, many times you'll see where if a child's had something traumatic happen, a psychiatrist might say, "Can you draw a picture for me?" Art therapy is widely used to help individuals cope with trauma, depression, anxiety. Art can be a great social connector. Engaging with art also, you often foster social connections. Whether you're visiting a gallery, attending a performance, or participating in an art class, these experiences encourage social interaction and community engagement. And studies indicate that strong social bonds, continue to, lead to higher happiness and satisfaction. So there's different ways, things that you can do, even if you're not an artist, to enhance your art well-being. First of all, you can decorate your space with art. In my own personal office, I have all my paintings up on the wall, like some type of gallery. I love it. Every day I look at it and I think, oh, this just makes me feel happy. I just feel good. You can participate in artistic activities, artistic hobbies like painting, sketching, sculpting. Take an art class can help you have some connection. Engage with art in public spaces. Public art installations, museums, street art can transform environments, making them more inviting and uplifting. Go to a music performance in arts. That's a form of art too. By simply listening to uplifting music. Or you could do what I do sometimes at the same time, listen to music and paint at the same time. Then you get, kind of like two birds with one stone. So I really do feel like art, it's just a great way to help you feel happy, feel good, feel connected. And that's why we recommend that everyone should somehow, be involved in art or artistic pursuits. Some of our favorite paintings for art is Claude Monet's Water Lily series. That's just such a great sort of, tranquil series. It's got this calming effect on you, and it's just really, really some great work of art. Another one of my favorite artists is Vincent van Gogh. And of course, The Starry Night is a great painting. And it's sort of uplifting because you got these swirling skies, this vibrant night. Henry Matisse's The Dance is also another great work of art. It's got this joyous movement going on with the dance. Yeah, you have Frida Kahlo's self-portrait with the thorn necklace and the hummingbirds. And that's just to me, that's just a great work of art there. I just really, really love that piece of her, that self-portrait that she did. And you have, Kusama Yayo or Yayo Kusama's infinity mirror rooms, which are just really uplifting because they sort of immerse you in this installation to create this boundless, energy type of thing, encouraging viewers to lose themselves in the light and the color. Or Georgia O'Keeffe's Red Poppies is another great one. I love Georgia O'Keeffe. I love a lot of her works of art. And I think, the Red Poppies is probably one of my favorite ones. So you can really make art part of your life. You can visit museums. You could try it as a hobby. You can engage in art therapy. You can make your own home a creative space. These are things that we could all try to do to just make art more of a part of our lives. And that's why we at Anita Louise Art believe that art should make you happy, and we hope that art does make you happy. Thank you so much for listening and being part of our community. We've written a blog on this, which is entitled How Art Can Make You Happier, the Science Behind Creativity. And we'll put a description and the link below. So we hope that you'll check that out and that you'll also join with us and press that subscribe button. Thank you so much for listening.